Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren and I've got another video for you all today. I know that lately I've been keeping you all super up to date with the moves that I'm making in the market currently, and I've noticed from the comments out there that people do enjoy hearing when I make purchases and the different types of stocks that I'm investing in, and it seems that you all like me keeping you up to date pretty much close to when I make the move. So with that, I've been making a lot of these videos lately just because I've been investing a lot more than usual. I finally have a little bit of cash saved up that I'm going to put into the market, and then maybe keep a little bit on the side in case we have another bigger crash than what we've seen already. So if you do enjoy these types of videos where I share what type of stocks that I'm investing in and how much I am purchasing in those stocks, please make sure to smash that like button. It really does help me out. It just takes a few seconds, and dropping a like on these videos helps these videos get recommended to newer audience members and newer people, so we can have a bigger community here, which would be pretty awesome. I definitely plan on growing this channel a lot. I'll be grinding a lot in the next upcoming few months right here. But anyways, as many of you know lately, I've already made 2 videos in the past week of me talking about stocks that I've purchased, and I think I've spent around $20 and $100 on stocks, aside from the amount that I spent on stocks that I'll be covering in this video. So in total, it'll be about $2,900, including this video that I've spent on stocks in 1 week. And I would honestly recommend watching those 2 videos as well, because it gives a really good breakdown on the stock that I'm discussing. And the 2 of the stocks that I purchased that I covered in those videos were Tesla and Microsoft. Now, if you keep up to date on my portfolio updates that I do on the channel, you may be able to guess which one I've purchased so far right now, in addition to my other recent purchases. And just on a side note before I jump into this, as you can see, we have had 3 bad stock market days in a row. We had over a 2% loss on Tuesday, we had another big loss yesterday, and then as of now, we have a 1% loss right now. So this is not a good sign right now, and what is occurring in the market currently and the surrounding news as well right now, it does make me think about whether I should keep investing aggressively or wait a little bit, and I'll most likely start waiting a little bit longer to see if these stocks drop a little bit more and I potentially get a better buying opportunity. However, dollar cost averaging is always the way to go. I know a lot of people like to simply just invest $500 every single month, regardless of where the market's at. And that's a good way of playing offense and defense at the same time, to where it defends yourself against the stock market rebounding and you miss out on those initial gains, or pretty much offense where you invest regardless of the stock market dropping, because you don't know whether it's going to rebound, like I mentioned just a few seconds ago. But it kind of covers both bases, because you don't know if it's going to go down more or go up more, but simply investing in a high quality long-term stock regardless, sometimes that's better than just sitting around for months and months waiting for a good time to invest, considering that the United States stock market spends most of its time in a bull market or going up rather than going down. But anyways, back onto the stock that I recently purchased. I spent about $820 on this stock, and this stock is Microsoft. You probably could have guessed that already. If you're familiar with the channel, you know that I've said in the past I will most likely be buying more Microsoft. Even though I've bought a share of Tesla recently, I've been pretty outspoken about my feelings about Microsoft and how I will be purchasing that and how it's my #1 stock currently. So it was kind of obvious as to what I would be purchasing, but I still like to keep you all up to date on the moves that I'm making, because sometimes it's not Microsoft that I purchased. Like yesterday's video, I recently purchased a Tesla share. So it's not always Microsoft, but regardless, even if it is always Microsoft, I think it's still interesting to tell at what point did I decide to buy. Some of it has just been simply dollar cost averaging, and then some of it has also been me taking advantage of like a few dollars discount on it. So as you can see currently, we have a $19,676 equity, and our cost basis is at about $18,000, and we currently own 111 shares. I'm actually very proud of this, because we were under 100 just a few days ago. Average cost is getting bumped up a little bit more to 162.11, takes up 27% of our portfolio, and so far today we're down $273, but in total we are in the green at a 9.35% gain, or 1680 in cash, baby. And just to show you all the moves that I made, including the time that I bought and at the share price that I bought, as you can see right here, I bought for a share price of $182.56 at a total of $365.12. And I believe this was the day after I dollar cost averaged. I already did a video on this. I basically bought 6 shares at $185.75. And then the day after May 11th, on May 12th, we had a pretty solid stock market day until about 3 p.m. And that's when it pretty much spiked under the baseline and went into the negative. So Microsoft actually went negative that day, and that's why I purchased shares at $182.56. So I took advantage of a few dollars discount, and of course this says 11 hours ago, but this said 20 minutes ago, and I don't know why it just changed. This was actually about 22 minutes ago as of right now. I purchased 2 shares at a price of $177.08, and if we look at the stock price right now, it is currently at $177.08. Okay, all right, we made 4 cents on that 0.10. But yeah, since this is like the 3rd red day in a row, I figured I might as well take advantage of a few dollars sale on Microsoft. I think $177 is a pretty decent price considering the fair value according to the Morningstar and Robinhood Gold report. It says the fair value is about $196, and that gives us a lot of leeway to compare to $177. So that's a potential $19 that I could gain off of each share that I own in just a small amount of time, because I do think that if the market continues on a good run, unlike the last few red days that we've had, then I think Microsoft will easily hit fair value or go past that even. And it's important to realize that this is a popular stock for a reason. For one thing, pretty much all of us own a computer that runs on Windows. I know some of you out there probably have Macs as well, but I started with a Windows computer. The one that I'm using to record this video right now uses Windows software. I have a MacBook as well, but I simply just prefer the Windows interface, and I'm already familiar with it. And that's kind of similar to like Apple phone users that are familiar with the iOS interface. It's kind of like that. If you start on that, you never really want to switch over, although I do think it's important to have a MacBook. Those offer a lot of niche type distinctions that are useful, but Microsoft Windows is simply one very small aspect of this stock and this company itself. For one thing, you have the Internet Explorer program, which people utilize along with Bing. Now, I will admit I'm using Chrome. Chrome is the superior web browser. However, there is a good thing about Internet Explorer, and I noticed this because I thought it was my internet, but it's actually not. If you get on Netflix on Chrome on your computer, or Hulu or Amazon Prime, the quality is okay, but it's not that great. However, if you use Microsoft Edge and pull up those streaming services, then the quality is actually fantastic. When you compare the quality on Microsoft Edge to Google Chrome, it's like watching 4K compared to 1080p, even though it's not 4K, but the quality is so much better. And I've noticed that every single time that I watch Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime, I always go to Microsoft Edge and switch over on that one. And I'll admit it seems a little bit more slower compared to Google Chrome, but Microsoft Edge is the superior streaming browser in my personal opinion. And that's because it has a newer up-to-date coding that makes the video quality higher with that browser. So there are some niche advantages to Microsoft Edge and stuff like that compared to Google Chrome. And like I said earlier, those are just very small aspects of Microsoft in general. You have Xbox, which also, in my opinion, I think the people at PlayStation are a lot more creative on new ideas and stuff like that. PS4 definitely beat the Xbox One over this past console war. And I know so far it seems like I'm mentioning things that the competition is doing much better, like with a web browser, the game consoles, but they also have many other aspects such as a cloud network. There's many programs out there like Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and so many others out there that people use for everyday work. And those programs are very cost effective because it's simply just a program. They've already developed it, and then the cost is simply just to give someone access to it. So you really make a lot of money charging people for programs. But once again, that's just another small aspect of Microsoft. But one of the biggest reasons that I have invested in them is because if you look at their recent history of growth, and I've mentioned this in other videos as well, but if you look at the growth of Microsoft over the past year, including the most recent drop, it is up 42.65%. And if you look at the past 5 years, it is up 271.70%. And it's not like the majority of percentage gain has come in 1 year. It has been a consistent grind all the way up until present time. It pretty much much looks like an even distribution in gain every year until about the last year right here. So this is a sort of consistency that you do not see over many stocks, especially even the popular ones such as like Tesla. If you take a look at Tesla, you don't see this form of consistency over the past 5 years. I absolutely love Tesla, but a lot of its growth has just come in the past year, in which it gained about 240%. And then if you also look at other stocks, for example, we have the ETF known as VOO. That's pretty much represents the general stock market trend. It gains about an average of 10% every year, so it's pretty consistent. But when there's a stock market crash, it faces a lot of that heat, as you can see with the most recent drop, and it also takes a lot longer to recover as well. So that's another reason why I enjoy Microsoft, is because when there is a stock market crash, and I saw this recently, for one thing, it's more resilient against the crash than stocks like VOO, and for another thing, when that crash does occur and it's time to recover, Microsoft recovers a lot faster than other stocks out here like VOO. For example, it still has another halfway to go to get to the peak that it was at just a few months ago, where if you go and look at Microsoft, it is already pretty much at that point of peak that we were at a few months ago. So it's already recovered, and it's not like VOO where it still has another halfway to go up right now. So in my personal opinion, Microsoft is a fantastic stock to invest in. That's why I keep on putting some money into this stock. It looks like one of the best growth stocks out there for me long term personally that I would prefer to have in my portfolio. But I simply just wanted to share the moves that I was making in the market recently. And if you did enjoy these videos, once again, make sure to smash that like button. It really does help me out. And if you would also like to begin investing, feel free to use my referral links to sign up with Robinhood and Webull. If you do, we'll both get some free stocks. And here's just a few examples of some that I've received recently for free. As you can see with CZR, that's about $10. So you do get some pretty solid stocks if you sign up with that. And for one thing, it's pretty much passive income because you don't really have to work to get it. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.